So, hi everyone, I'm Sue Cook, and I'm in my late 50s now. But when I was about 21, I had my first articles published in an American health and beauty magazine. Well, beauty, not health. And my first article I had published was called Does Skincare End at the Neck and the Wrists? And I did another one on something else, but that got me into being in editorial. So I got myself a job as an assistant editor, and within 9 months, I was an editor of two magazines. And this is a very long time ago now. Um, and so I learned how to publish magazines. And within not
Amazing.
very long, sorry, darling.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, I guess so. It's a long time ago now. Within not very long, I was editing four magazines every month. So I never missed a deadline. So that takes a great deal of organization. But in that process, you learn about editing. I also had about 100 authors that I don't really want to use the word managing, but I would have about 100 authors, and I was there like agony aunt. They'd phone me up and tell me all their problems and all of this. And that was all part of it as well. So it was all of these things, sourcing pictures and the whole shebang, doing the flat plan for each of the magazines, passing for press and just making sure magazines were ticking over. It's like being in a magazine factory. And I was also writing articles for other magazines as well from time to time. One's in-house, perhaps, I can't remember, but definitely one's for other places. And certainly after I left, that was all my 20s. I was writing, editing, and then went to university. And as Althea knows, I'm a health scientist since the last 29 years, and I've been doing health things, seeing patients. But when I, so I'm a neurodevelopment specialist, and when I've been seeing patients for a fair bit of time, I was always telling them the same thing. And I thought, well, if I write that into a book, so I did this book, Nutrition for Special Needs, and I won't have to keep telling everyone all the time what's going on. So this book is a story of my dad's journey through nutrition and then my journey through nutrition and in my profession. Then I wrote Maximize Your Child's Potential. This is a series of all sorts of different things. Then I didn't know what superfoods were about 10, 11 years ago, so I wrote Eat for Your Brain. And then in the last year, since October, I've written these three. So Brain in a Jar, which is dementia prevention and neurodevelopment. And then these two, this one came out on Sunday, Two Chicken Reports with comedy. And I'm also now finishing another book as well called A Gift for Santa. And I've also got another one in the pipeline. So I'm quite prolific, right? So you want to know how you get your knowledge and your words into one of these, right? So
Yeah.
the first thing you have to do is write your book. so, so get it written, just get it down there, stop blocking yourself. I find that when I'm on output mode, like when I'm writing, I can't do input from other people too much because it's got to focus on that, not this. Yeah. So if I'm doing that, I just get on and I write, and I will write fast. I will get a book done quickly. So let's just imagine that you finished your manuscript. Here it is. What do you do with it? And if you're going to publish it yourself, what do you do? First of all, you have to make sure that people who know what they're doing have edited it and checked it and make sure that it's all right, because that's really important. So get a creative person to look at it and get somebody who's can either proofread or can do editorial to look at it as well, because you need it to be absolutely up to scratch, and you can't edit your own work. I can tell you that as a very experienced editor of many years. You need to just put it aside, and you can come back to it later and edit it, but you won't see the mistakes necessarily or what can be done to improve it yourself. So you do need someone else to have a look at it. Also, you do need someone else to go, oh my God, that's brilliant, and encourage you. Because when no one's seen your work, it's a little bit of a weird void of kind of, is this okay? Am I mad? Am I losing the plot? And all of that. So you do need somebody to look at it for you and go, yeah, this is really good. It's relevant. And when I wrote Brain in a Jar, I tentatively, the first person to read that was one of my colleagues, a lovely lady called Marie McLaughlin. I sent it off to her going, worried. And she just sent me a 4 minute voice message saying how brilliant it was and it was a game changer. So that was really encouraging. So it really helps if you have that kind of encouragement and confidence to go through it. So now you have an edited manuscript, which you're now happy with and you've checked it. What do you do? So if you're going to publish on,
Can I ask about writing? Is that okay, or do you want to
what do
move
you want
on?
to know?
Um, I um, I am not a journalist, and I've never written a book before. I feel completely utterly overwhelmed by. I've kind of written the first draft, and I've had somebody proofread it, but it's so big. I can't get my head. I can't get. I need to get it into some um structure.
Yeah,
Is there like a formatted structure out there somewhere, or is the structure
possibly.
you
Shall we talk
advise?
about, let's talk about that at the end. Let me go
Okay.
through the process first, okay? Because that's getting into style things. So let's just go through the process of creating one of these. No problem. So open up yourself an account on Kindle Direct Publishing. Okay, so go into there, set yourself up an account, and go to the page that says bookshelf. And on bookshelf, I could probably show you if I share my screen. Let me do that. I can pull up mine and I can show you it. Actually, I'll talk you through it first. Go to Kindle Direct Publishing, set yourself up an account, go to Bookshelf and start a book. And then you'll be guided through all the things you've got to tick. So how big the book's going to be. Most of mine are this size, which is 7 by 9. And go through it. Assign it a free ISBN. Do all of that. Just decide what kind of paper you want and go through it. Okay, so you'll work your way through that, ticking what subject it is, and you'll see what I mean when you go there. So just tick all through that. Then you'll come to the bit where it says upload your manuscript. So upload your manuscript into there. And below there, there is a cover creator. So you can create your cover in there. So if we go back to the upload your manuscript thing, then when you've done your cover, I know I'm jumping around, but this because this is the way you kind of have to work it out. When you've done your cover and you've put in your manuscript, the next bit down is a thing that says was AI involved? Tick yes or no, and then go into the book review machine thing. So you click on review the book and it will come up into a visual and you can flick through your pages and it will show you if any of them are too big or if they're out of alignment or depending on what's going on. That's got to be correct. So you've got to adjust all of that. When you've done that, you can either say exit preview, which is that, exit preview or approve if you like it. Okay. Then you can, let's go back to the cover. So when you click cover creator, I might be going too quick for you, but this is being saved so you can pause it. When you go into the cover creator, it can be either upload your own cover or it can be cover creator and upload just pictures or use pictures that they've got in there and then you create your cover. I had an absolute mare with this because the whole cover was designed for me, but it wouldn't fit. It was too small, even though all the maths were working. So what I did was I uploaded the front cover into there and just used the cover creator back, which was distressing because it was so beautifully done. Whereas this one with this all wraparound cover, that one worked, but all the others, I just use their cover creator because it's pretty easy and it's pretty low hassle, especially if you're beginning. You don't want to. Well, maybe you've got loads of patience. I'm not a very patient person. I just want it done. So once you've approved it, you then go through all of the thing of how much you're going to charge for it and everything, and you go through that. So that's an overview. I have to give you an overview because I'm a left-hander with a dominant right hemisphere, and I think in overviews. So now I've done the overview, I can go into the nitty-gritty for you. Does that make sense?
Brilliant.
Those of you who are
Fabulous. I love
right,
you.
right-handers with a dominant left hemisphere, you could probably find that really confusing because for you, it's like I'm skating over the detail and missing it. But this is how us left-handers think who've got a dominant right hemisphere. So now, more detail.
Love it.
Um, so Althea wanted to know about structuring your book. And I
Yeah.
totally get how absolutely overwhelming all of that is. So let me see if I can find you. Yeah, this is the book you want. Also, when you're doing a book with text, you need to have page numbers. Page numbers on the old Kindle direct publishing can be a pain in the ass. So what I did with this book, because I already told you I don't have any patience, what I did with this book was I totally ignored the page numbers and kept that blank. And instead, I used figures, little ones like that. So you just hunt through the text. So, say we're looking for 10.1, just hunt through there, find 10.1, and then you don't have to worry about page numbers. So, that's my way of coping with not being very technical at that. But my
Works.
partner,
It
what?
works. It works.
Yeah, and I find it easier. It sort of works with my brain. But as I've said, I'm a left-hander, so I'm not going to be thinking the same way other people think. Right. So, after you wanted to know, yeah. So, the point I was going to make about this, you need to have an introduction. Okay. If you think about what you were taught at school, with every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, that's exactly what you want in the book you're writing. You want an introduction, you want an overview of the whole book, 1 page, half a page, 2 pages, or something, so that your readers have got a handle on what on earth this book is about and what they're going to be led into, something to excite them and entice them. Okay, and you need a conclusion. It's a bit like doing a science experiment as well as, creative writing, science experiment. You've got all the stages, you want that. So the reason I'm saying this is because it helps you break that down into the structure that you require. And then you have your conclusion or your finale at the end. So what do we do with the middle bit? I think chapters are a really good idea. So with yours perhaps, Althea, assuming that you're writing about what you've been doing, you might, for example, have this was me before I discovered this technique that I use, and this is the lead up to it. That's one chapter, and then when I got started, and this is how I discovered this, and then this is how it evolved, and then this is where it went from there, and these are the results we had, and maybe do some case studies so that you've got things. You might divide it up on a kind of in that way timeline of your adventure or something like that so that your work is organized because somebody else coming to your work, like if we look at Brain in a Jar, that's in 3 clear sections. So we have also on this one I actually did manage to do pages, but then they didn't print when I did it because I clicked something accidentally. So there's my introduction and then my chapters, and it's all really big writing because so that anybody can read it without their glasses on. And this is all fully referenced as well. So this book is divided into 3 sections. There's neurodevelopment, homeopathy, and the science of the nutrition. And then Eat for Your Brain, the sections in there. The introduction was quite big because I needed to explain. And then there's section 1, and then there's section 2. They're very clear, very, very clear, so that you can work out how to use that book. So you need to think about your reader and what it is they require when they are going to be reading your book. So for yours, Althea, your reader is going to be really inspired by the incredible journey you've been on. And I think your story is amazing and beautiful. I love it. And so your readers are going to want to, they're just going to be so, it's going to be like reading a wonderful story. They're going to be so engaged and so enrolled in what you're saying. So your book particularly has got to be so passionate about all those lovely things that happened that led you there and all the people you've helped and all the pain you've set. I mean, that's the driver of that. I mean, it's just the most wonderful story. Whereas mine aren't.
So thank you so much. So, I as coming from inside me giving out, I've always been an inside person. I've always sort of helped people through hands-on touch with therapeutics, but to put it all in black and white in a different sort of landscape out there in a book, it's very, very unnerving.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
mean,
100%.
I
Yeah.
did the interview with the other day, but you're saying because you know my story, and so pouring all that out, that people like that, then that's um
People
that's a good
love
thing.
that.
Love
Yeah.
that thing.
Oh, yeah. People love that. if you think about,
Mm.
even if you'd only ever help one person, it's so beautiful. It's such a blessing what you've done for people. Same with my neurodevelopment work. If I'd only ever helped my son, it would be an incredible story. Okay, but then everyone else wanted it, and I've now helped thousands of people. I've now trained a whole load of people, and now I'm writing more for dementia and helping more people again. It's an amazing blessing to have been on the journeys we've been on, and then we can
It's a
share it in a
journey.
book because a book is cheap. It's
Yeah.
less than 20 quid, and lots of people can be saved and helped and inspired by that. It's just wonderful. So
Yeah.
yeah, you really are. It's almost like standing naked in front of people when you write a book. That's what it feels like, because you're exposing, you're making yourself vulnerable, and you're sharing your experience, and you're making yourself be potentially, people criticize you, right? So what? They're going to do that anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like one of the biggest fears people have: public
Mm.
speaking, and what's the other one? Heights or something. Well, I'm not great with heights, but public speaking, I'm not bothered. I've been doing it for years. And yeah, and I was giving a speech once, and somebody heckled me all the way through, and I sent her out. Didn't leave, but you're always going to, and it doesn't matter because everybody's coming from their own perspective. And from where they
Yes,
are, they're right, even if you think they're wrong. But so
very
it's
good point.
what you can do is be the little canary out there singing on their perch, because
Yeah.
somebody wants to hear that. And it's lovely.
Okay.
And it adds to the richness of everything. And our books are important. So don't worry
Okay.
about
So
what
the other, just dive out there, and I wanted to ask another thing. So I've got my story, how it happened, how it was developed, but then there's the whole how does it work ABC, which
okay.
is a big chunk. So could it be like the first section is how did it happen, and the whole whatever,
Yeah.
and then it's how do you do it? This is what you
Yes.
do.
Yes. 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 Those have got to
It's not
be
too
very clearly
much.
delineated. So you could have all of the chapters within the how did it happen thing, and up to that point, and that's section one. And then section two is getting down to the nitty gritty, the instructions, and getting on with it like that, so that it's very clear. You want it to be
Got it.
very clear and delineated to your reader, because they don't know what's in your head. And they want to know how you did it, and they don't want to be in pain anymore, but they want to be impassioned by the romance of it, because what you've done is actually quite a romantic thing, isn't it? You've created this wonderful thing. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's what we want to do. when
Okay,
you
fantastic.
when you go into Kindle Direct Publishing, let me see if I can share mine. I'll have to just go into it, see if it's here. Here we
I'm
are.
diving in with questions. I mean, guys, do speak, ask questions if that's your if you want to.
I can show
I don't want
you.
to. I feel like I'm sort of hogging a bit, but I'm hopefully my questions are helping you too. So I just met Stacey and Steve yesterday.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, we were
So
both on a networking call.
very nice. So this
Yeah.
is my Kindle Direct Publishing. So you have at the top bookshelf, reports, community, and marketing. So when you start it, you go into here, which is create, and then you go create a new doodah there. And these are all some of the books I've published. And
Amazing,
um,
amazing.
yeah, I'm just trying to think. I don't really want to mess with any of these, because let's see, what have I got in review? And I don't really want to go a story about the little radio, and that's not one of my books. I did that for a friend. Yeah, so you'll get it. You just go into that. So I'm going to stop sharing that, but that's what you'll see
So
when you go in.
wonderful. And so
Huh?
once you've done your book, you're doing this publishing thing, and then how do you get a physical book? Do you just do you send a link out to everybody to through Amazon, is it? Or
So,
Kindle, I mean. Or
so what happens is when your book has been approved. So the latest one I've finished today is in the review process. When I'm allowed to order, you kind of click on order author copies, and you scroll down and click the UK one, not the American ones. It will come up in dollars and all of that jazz. And then you can order a few proof copies. Okay, so and they don't cost very much for the proof. So you then get your copy and you check it, make sure you like it. If you don't, you can make amendments, right? If you do like it, then you just I don't not sure if you have to click something else, but it'll be obvious when you're on the that page I just showed you.
So you can buy one single copy just to check it through and you like it and happy with it
Yeah,
before it goes public.
yeah. But I would order like five and send them out to a few friends and say, tell me what's wrong, okay? And then people come back with, oh, this isn't very good, or you should do that. The thing is, because I was an editor for years, I don't find it's not precious. If somebody's like, I sent out Brain in a Jar to one of my friends to check for me, and she came back with loads of corrections, and she was like, "Oh, I feel really bad." No, don't feel really bad. I want it right. So I'm grateful for the insight because you can't do that yourself. She came back with some brilliant ideas. So yeah, buy five copies and get people to criticize it for you so that you can really polish it up. And it's lovely doing that.
Fantastic.
So
And
don't feel precious about it. And
and
then
is it cheaper than to buy a full price book then? It's a cheap version.
yeah, because
Your
you're
ver-
only paying for the print cost and the postage. So the person buying it will be paying for when they buy your book on Amazon. So Brain in a Jar is £17. So I get a cut of that. A cut of that is the print cost, and then a cut of that is Amazon's their cut as well. So everyone's getting a cut. So a 17 quid book, you might get, you'll get a few quid for. But I think the first chicken report, I think I only get about £1 or £2 for that for every one I sell. But that's the idea. You want to sell a lot of copies. Um, so have you got any more questions, anybody, while we're still going through this? Yes,
I
what?
have one. So you got your book, you sent it out and that kind of stuff, and people are able to buy. But let's say you wanted to do an in-person event and you wanted
Yeah,
to have someone in. Can you buy them at that lower cost through
yes,
Amazon
yes.
and take the books?
Yes, you order authors' copies and they
Okay.
will arrive in the post within about 5 days. And there they are, you have them. And then you can organize your book launch at the local bookstore, at a local event, or anything like that. And also, you can send them out to magazines. So, the Chicken Report, I emailed a load of, because that's a comedy cartoon book, I'll show you. Um, uh, so, it's just cartoons. I sent a load out to magazines and or at least a press release for it. Talking press releases, I'll come back to that. And that's getting reviewed in the May issue of Country Smallholdings, so I'm quite chuffed.
Wow,
Yeah,
fun.
it is fun. And okay, so press release. Press releases, you want to prepare your press release, and you can find a format for that online. Just fill it in with your own information, and then you can send that out when you uh, get your book. You can either just send a press release or you can send them a book as well. Local magazines and newspapers, you can do that too, see if anyone prints it. And you hopefully get some marketing done and some sales uh, and all of that jazz.
So when you put it all out, then you'd be sending the link, the Amazon link, and then people would
Yes.
buy through Amazon.
Yeah.
So really, you're promoting that URL. You're going around saying, "Look at this book, get this book."
Yes. Yes. So I also have a Shopify. So you can buy my books. I set it up primarily for Brain in a Jar. Um, so they can have my Shopify link and buy it direct from me. And I earn more money from doing that than if I sell it through Amazon. So that's quite nice. Although I do have to buy the books in advance and have them in stock. So, but you don't have to
Oh,
carry any stock if you don't want to.
so I went to an event or I have it on my website. I would buy the physical book and then I would charge them. How do you figure out the postage? How do you just you get to know what that post?
So,
It would be on my say it's like on my website. It says buy a book and it's a click. Where's it clicking to? It's clicking. What's how
so
does
do
that
you
sort of?
have that set up on your website currently? people
No,
to
it's just
buy? Okay,
uh,
so I set up Shopify. So that costs me about, I don't know, it's like 130 quid a year, okay,
mhm.
for my Shopify. And they take a few pence from every sale I make. And the link would click through. So if somebody buys one of my books on my Shopify, I get notified and then it comes up with their address and what they've ordered. So with regarding the postage, that's in there. So you type in the weight of it and it calculates what the postage cost is, okay,
Oh,
which is pretty cool. Um, you do need to learn about postage costs. So this is a large letter, an ordinary letter,
and
like
do you get special packaging for your books? Do you
I
buy
go
that
to
yourself?
Poundland and I buy padded envelopes for these because they're very big. So you get two
Oh,
for £1, so then an envelope is 50p. And I get my labels from Poundland as well. You get 100 for however much. And then it goes off safely and it arrives undamaged to your
sorry.
customer.
So you got the padded envelopes, and that's Poundland, and then you've got what did you say? The labels. Is that done through Shopify? Because eBay does labels, isn't it?
Just blank labels.
Oh, I see. Right. Oh, right. Mm.
And you just write on the address and
Okay.
stick it all in the envelope and Bob's your uncle and go to
Okay.
the
So
post
that
office.
and off you go. So and then you figure out you learn what the postage is for your parcel, your
Yeah,
book.
you need to know what postage is. Yeah, and I've learnt that. So I know what. So if something's thicker than like probably something like that, I think it's 2.5 centimeters, then that's a parcel rather than a letter. So you have a paper letter is a letter. A large letter is anything thicker than that, but thinner than 2.5 centimeters, and then you get parcel. So then that's more expensive. Yeah.
Okay, so you get the notification, the address through Spotify. It's all
Shopify,
what did I say?
not Spotify, Shopify.
Shopify. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I know. I was
And
just
then,
clarifying.
thank you. And then
So
they give you a secret, a coded thing so nobody can see their address, and then you get on and you physically put it in the post office. Then.
yeah, so I'm just going to show you mine. So on my Shopify, that's what the back office looks like. There's just listings of everything. And if I sell something, then the orders just come up who's ordered and what and the date so that you can make sure that you've got it. Any questions?
Um, I think I'm fair. Think I'm about there. The biggest thing I feel overwhelmed with is actually the writing. I've done my sort of rough first effort, edit, but it's putting the structure. So I'm going to listen back to this recording and put it into the structure you said.
Yeah.
And um, also, when you're writing a book, as a therapist, I have lots of um, go and see your local herbalist, or go to this place, or this website's really good. Or do you put anybody else's other things in your book?
Yeah.
Some people say you do.
Yeah, I did. In the back of Brain in a Jar, I recommended all sorts of things for people because I recommended something about breathing, something about meditation and personal development, brains and fats, and I recommended another author. Yeah, because I felt that that's what you need to do. Oh, Stacey's just given
Yep,
her apologies. Thank you so much. She's got another meeting, so she's
yep.
gone. Cool. Okay.
So you can put. There's no sort of copyright something or other, or that's you just if you want to share
You
other
have to
people's
put
stuff, that's
copyright.
fine.
You have to put copyright. Yeah. So your front page looks like that.
Hmm.
So you've got copyright down there.
Okay. And you just write. I can't really see it very well, but you just write copyrights on it so that
Yeah. At.
everybody knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what have you got? That symbol, the C symbol.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's like format places you can download a sort of book format, so you have all this gobbledygook
Yes.
stuff.
That
Um,
reminds me, thank you. So when you are clicking on the setup of your book and you're going through the size, there is a manuscript thing that you can download. So I'm on a Mac, so that doesn't work on my computer. But if you're on Windows, then you can download a formatted thing and you just literally
oh,
copy and paste your text into that. So
ah,
it's ready done. If you're
okay.
on Mac, then what you can do is
I'm not.
no. Oh, okay. But I'll just say in case anyone else is.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
on Mac, you just open up a Windows document and then you can set your printer preferences. I went all through this with Brain in a Jar. I set up all the printer preferences so that it did it for me, okay, somehow on into the document. So it was, the right width and the right for every single page. It's a hell of a faff, but it just makes it so easy. An hour or two set up just means when you write your document, it just works. But if you've got a Windows machine, then you can download your thingy, that whatever it's called, um,
Manuscript.
formatted document, yeah, for your, and then just copy and paste your manuscript in with, and it comes with chapters and all sorts of things. It's really easy. So yeah,
Is that with where's all the chapters and things? Where is that's
yeah,
in the
yeah,
uh
in the format thing, yeah,
format in Windows
yeah. It's so you
or in Kindle?
click on, when you're in the setup that I showed you in Kindle Direct Publishing, you can download a formatted blank. Okay, and it's in there that's got like the introduction, forward,
Ah,
acknowledgements, and then all the chapters. So it will have the title big, like chapter 6, and it will be big, and then there'll be body text, and it's just holder copy. So you just copy and paste over that. Yeah, delete. So
wonderful.
you've got to delete all holder copy, or your book will not pass when you have uploaded it into the print preview. You've got to take out all holder copy or it won't work. Yeah.
This is you're talking about in Kindle
Yeah.
Direct Publishing.
When you've uploaded it. Yeah.
To take out all holder copy.
Yeah. You'll see what I mean when you go into any questions.
Okay, I'll mute. Yeah, I am. Hello there. Thank you. Very useful, very
Oh,
beneficial.
you're welcome.
But because again, I might get round to writing a book myself. But what my question is, I've got a book from my late brother, and he has it's the book he's made it. It has got an ISBN number
Yeah.
for his self-published. But I'm trying to work out how do I go about to get the book out there. I
You've
mean,
got
what
to
you said. I
market
mean,
it. That's marketing.
right, marketing, but also it's also, as you say, because I can get, but as you said, just a couple of copies to some friends and that, but also to get it. Um, I mean, it's 180 odd pages, but it needs to be maybe approved. What was it? Approved by other
But it's
people.
already published.
Yeah, it's already published. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it just basically, I just got to get it out there,
Yeah. Just market it. Yeah.
marketing, and that's a bit. How do I go about that? Just
Oh God, no, that's not my thing.
no,
You just
no,
you
I
just got
don't.
to write press releases and send it off to people and all of that jazz.
Right, and then obviously I've only got the one book because
Well,
so I
where
need.
do you know where it's kept? Do you know who's
Yeah,
got the?
well, he passed away recently, so I'm going through all his information. I might find it somewhere.
Did he
Other,
publish it on Kindle or did a publisher do it?
I don't know, to be honest.
Well,
I
you've
don't
got to
know.
find that out.
Right,
Look in the front and see if there's a publisher listed or if he did it himself. Because
he did it
without that
himself.
knowledge, you're stuck.
Yeah, because he's got it at the front, which you said about editor. Yeah, independent publishing network himself.
Okay, so contact them maybe.
Well, it's here, but he passed away, so there's no one else.
No,
It's
contact Independent Publishing Network.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I'm not sure what that is. That could be, you know, that might be an answer. So you need to find out where it is so that you can, so somebody could buy it. If they want to buy it, where do they go?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because he got it somewhere and he must have got it approved or somewhere, but he's only
Yeah.
got the one book, and that's that's the next stage.
Yeah,
I'll have
Google
to look.
it. Have a look on Amazon, have a look on eBay, have a look everywhere until you can find or contact those people.
Because he done it quite a few years ago, and it's, I mean, what we're
Yeah.
talking about. And he got it published in 2020, so 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And so but I just knew he was doing it, and then he got the book, and he left me to say, in my care, and I
Yeah.
thought it needs to be out there in the world. So
Oh, bless you.
um, that's what I'm trying to achieve. But
Yeah.
it's a bit of a, not just a learning
It's a
curve. It's a
mission,
bit.
isn't it?
It is. It's trying to. It's yeah, and it's yeah. So it's yeah. I didn't know. I mean, funny enough, when I read through it, the bit complimentary editing, editation. Um, please call directly
Mission.
to the inquiries. But that's him. It's his name. But he's
Okay. By the way,
so.
guys, this is going to end any second,
Oh,
okay?
okay. All right. Well, I
Yeah.
think.
So,
So that was
Okay.
absolutely brilliant. I've got
Yeah.
something to get my teeth into, and I'm going to listen back. Will you send the recording back out to us, or
yeah, I'll stick it on YouTube for you.
fantastic? So
Yeah,
you're a
okay.
star. Thank you so much. Brilliant.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
so
Bye bye.
much. Brilliant. Thank you. That was brilliant. That was
Bye.
brilliant. Bye for
Good.
now.